Hey everyone, I am Arkham, and not to beat a dead horse here, but I want to make a quick follow-up to the monetization video I did a few days ago, where I use a real example to express why the system is outrageously overpriced. In this example, I have covered up the player card, as this is not to put this person on blast or anything like that. Not only do I have a lot of respect and admiration for them as a part of this community, it's ultimately their money and they can choose to spend it however they like. This is not a shame piece or anything of the sort, so just making that clear. So that aside, this is a prime example why the system is awful. I know this person has stated they do not like the prices and current monetization method in the game. They've gone on record saying it sucks. Yet, here's what they've put into it just on this armor setup alone that they are currently using. Starting off, the Anubis helmet, sold as part of the Anubis armor set in the store, cost them $20. The UA Viator left shoulder pad cost them $20 as part of the Zvezda armor set in the store. Next we have the Psych Apple chest piece and the emblem background being used, which were sold as part of the Pineapple Heaven set in the store for $10. The TAC Model 52 Navy knife on the hip there in the utility slot is a part of the Looking Sharp bundle in the shop for $10. And finally, the Agent 117 stance being used is part of the Tacticlamp 117 bundle in the store for $10. Disregarding the armor coating, which came with the Halo Infinite Razor headset, and the weapon coating, which came from purchasing Monster Energy drinks, this setup cost $70 in total. Now, look at this. Is it cool? Yeah, it's a cool armor setup. Does it seem worth $70 though? If just this setup was in the shop with a $70 price tag, would you buy it? Would you find that reasonable? And for the record, to be clear, yes, I know some other items came in the bundles as well, not just what you see being used here, but that's sort of the problem, rather than any sort of hole in my argument, because with these bundles, you're not going to want everything included, nor are you going to use everything that's included anyway, yet you're forced to buy the whole thing to accumulate the items you actually do want. So that's a bit moot. Another thing I think is important to mention here is that this is just 3 weeks in. The game hasn't even officially launched yet. We still have 5.5 months remaining on Season 1 alone. Point being, what happens when other cool stuff comes along that you want? If 3 weeks in, you're already spending more than the price of a retail game to amass a cool armor set, and this game is supposed to be supported for 10 more years, what does that look like for our wallets? What happens when more cores come along that you like even more and none of this stuff is compatible with it? Does that seem like a good value? Does that sound like absolutely necessary cost to keep servers online to you? Keep in mind, the campaign is still being sold for full retail price, Xbox Live is still charging for gold, and Game Pass still charges a subscription fee if you go that route. Do prices this high in bundles that come with so little that you have to purchase multiple at a premium price to get customization options you want for the time being seem crucial to make sure the devs get paid and the servers stay online? You be the judge. But in my opinion, all this stuff is about 50 to 75% too much, and overall poor in value for what they're asking in general. I look at this set of armor and think at most that whole thing should be $15 to obtain, not pieced out and separated so you end up paying $70 unless you want a pre-made set for $20, thus giving yourself no originality or freedom of real player expression to tailor it to your tastes. You know, the player expression like we've never seen before that was touted as a major positive leading up to this approach, yet it's clear, if you want originality and to look unique, you're going to have to pay a lot of money to do so. Because just buying a bundle as is and slapping that armor set on or that emblem background or coating on does not make you original. This person here, for example, has mixed items from 5 different bundles plus 2 separate promotional crossovers just to have something that feels unique to them. Simply throwing down $20 on the Anubis set just makes you the same as anyone else who bought just that set. Look, once again, to be clear, I want the devs or whoever is really profiting to get paid for their work and for the servers to be the best they can and remain on to keep enjoying the wonderful gameplay of Halo Infinite. But these are not reasonable prices to meet that criteria, nor is it a system built with the player in mind to make acquiring things you like in a fair and reasonable way. Placing things in sometimes arbitrary, lackluster, overpriced bundles is only intended to make as much money as possible while being as inconvenient to the player's wallet, unfortunately, and that's a shame. This is not entitlement. This is not negativity just for the sake of negativity. This is not meaningless or unimportant. This is pretty egregiously gross business tactics to squeeze as much out of the fans as possible, not to just handle necessary costs. Do not be fooled. I really hope they address this feedback, because they have yet to really do so, other than the brief mention it in passing when Sketch responded to the backlash of various other things and said the monetization system is for paying for servers as well as the devs' work. I have full faith that most of the issues with the game will be fixed and improved in time, but the monetization as it currently is could very easily stay, and that'd be a real blemish on this game and the series, which desperately needs to hit a home run at every level. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you out on the battlefield.